Do you never intend to give a public answer, Your Grace?
What have I been asked?
About the mages. You could calm this fire if you stepped forward.
The Chantry's teachings are clear. Those who turn against them would not listen more to me than to Andraste.
Then you do favor the Templars, Your Grace?
I favor peace, which is not the goal of either side, I'm afraid.
That is more apparent every day.
I did not expect things to deteriorate so fast. I thought after the Canary, no one would wish for more violence. It has drawn more attention than I would like. Sebastian, if I can ask...
Anything, Your Grace.
And the champion, too, if you will?
I can't imagine any way this will go wrong.
What would you have of us?
The Divine is concerned about the situation here. She does not want to see the Free Marches become another Imperium. She has sent an agent to assess the danger. Meet with her, please. Tell her drastic measures won't be required.
I don't want to see the Divine's armies march against Kirkwall.
Surely the Divine wouldn't treat the whole city as enemies.
She is concerned. It is never wise to draw the concern of the powerful.
She is the voice of Andraste. She cannot turn the might of the Chantry against the innocent due to proximity.
Were no innocents harmed in the Exalted Marches? She will do her best, Sebastian. But she must act first to protect the faith.
What can you tell me about this servant of the Divine?
I was not told her real name. Only to call her Sister Nightingale. She is said to be the Divine's left hand, sent to do work that might blacken the Divine's name.
What argument would convince her?
The Divine has heard my protests already. I must trust your own powers of persuasion now.
This cannot wait.
Thank you. We cannot allow this ridiculous mage rebellion to turn into holy war.
The agent, Sister Nightingale, will be waiting in the Viscount's throne room tonight. She wishes to remain unseen. The room has been sealed since the Canary incident. It may be difficult to get in without attracting attention.
So, even the Divine fears us now. She should. Kill the spies!
The Resolutionists. I might have known they would be part of this. Are you Sister Nightingale? I am. Or you may call me Leliana. The Divine sent me to investigate the possibility of a rebellion here in Kirkwall.
Without informing the guards, of course.
This is an unconventional situation. I have some experience with those. The Leliana? Who accompanied the hero of Ferelden to slay the Archdemon? Ah. I see it will be harder to remain anonymous so near the Ferelden border. Yes, I knew the hero of Ferelden. Perhaps you have heard the songs I wrote of our time together. But that was many years ago. I am working for the Divine now, in Orlais. I had not thought to return to this part of Thedas. Who are the Resolutionists? An offshoot of a fraternity within the Circle of Magi. There have always been factions that support freedom from the Chantry and the abolition of the Circle. We have tolerated them, but the Resolutionists have become violent. They are likely behind the unrest here. I appreciate you stepping in back there. Of course. They mistook you for me, so they must know I am in Kirkwall. The Divine has long suspected that Kirkwall's problems were spurred by an outside group.
Like any mage with a brain can't come up with, let's rebel.
And prove the Chantry's point by unleashing demons. Don't forget that part.
This attack proves she is right. Are you saying you set this whole thing up? I let word slip that an agent of the Divine was coming to investigate the Mage troubles. It is how they chose to react which condemns them.
Will the Divine send soldiers?
Divine Justinia takes the situation here very seriously. She believes it is the worst threat to Thedas since the Cunara invaded.
A handful of apostates? How can that possibly...
The whole world is watching Kirkwall. If it falls to magic, none of us are safe.
None of you?
Tell Elthina to leave. There is refuge for her at the Grand Cathedral in Orlais. She will not be safe here.
Sister Nightingale says you must leave Kirkwall.
What?
You were right. The Divine will be taking action against Kirkwall, though the sister didn't say what. You must take the holy relics from the Chantry and leave for safety.
Sebastian, I'm surprised at you. Andraste would not thank me for saving a few dusty finger bones and my own skin at the cost of people's lives.
Are you saying you will not flee?
When I became Grand Cleric, I took a vow to the people of Kirkwall and the Free Marches. I will not leave my flock.
Would you let yourself die?
There is no greater devotion than to lay one's life at the Maker's feet. There is no better death than to take the blow for another.
You don't hear that one quoted often, do you?
Please, Your Grace. Sister Nightingale thinks there will be war.
Then, I must make peace. Settle yourself, Sebastian. I'm in no personal danger. I am Grand Cleric. Who would dare attack me?
If you will not shield yourself, then I will be your shield. You will come through this safely by the Maker's name. I swear it. If Elthina won't leave Kirkwall, neither will I. I can't abandon her when the Divine's own agent warned her away.
What about your people?
They can wait. Starkhaven hardly benefits if Kirkwall falls. But if these Maleficarum rebel against the Knight Commander, Elthina will put herself between them and be torn apart. I must try to make her see reason. This cannot end well.
Guardsmen, duties for the week will be...
Lowtown canvas. 5 on, 3 off.
City perimeter by 2s. Clear by 2nd watch.
Training recruits full metal by week's end.
Anything else, Captain?
No. Thank you. Donicus. A good man. I'm sorry, was there something you wanted?
You never said how your 3 weeks in Orlais went.
You're right. I didn't. Anything else?
Kirkwall seems to have rallied around you.
I try to keep order, and people appreciate that. Everything else is going insane. A few complaints here and there, but for the most part, I think everyone's just glad the Guard has been stable for a few years.
Your men could give the Templars a run for their sovereigns.
They've had to. As long as there's no Viscount, the Order thinks they can bark at any man in uniform. I won't have it. The people of Kirkwall need to see themselves in their Guard. Lose that connection, we're just targets.
Just checking in. Need anything?
Yes, there's something. Come back soon. I'll get into it then.
I'll see you later.
Of course, Hawke.
Well, look who it is. You. The you. If you don't mind, I could do with a significant reduction in the amount of attention this office receives. A visit from the Champion is something of the opposite.
Everyone else seems to want me on their side.
I am not everyone else. I am the Seneschal. A position that does not traditionally endure Sans Viscount. Now I'm trapped under Templar scrutiny, waiting for them to note how easily I might be replaced.
And it isn't going well?
It is not going well.
I can apply influence in many ways, you know.
Do the words political maelstrom mean anything to you? The Templars are particularly sensitive about destabilizing elements, especially after what happened to Dumas.
The Arashok killed the Viscount, but he's no longer a problem.
There are older hatreds that the Templars feel deserve more central focus. Sometimes I wonder if we're at war with ourselves.
Since when are city leaders appointed by the Knight Commander?
Meredith would not openly declare a preference. The rule of Kirkwall is deliberately separate from the Chantry's will. But the Order embodies security in Kirkwall, and they want the new Viscount to be more accepting of oversight. Anyone who wants to rule Kirkwall needs support from the Templars. That is the new truth of this city.
What happens if they don't like the choice?
Do you know how Viscount Dumas' predecessor, Perrin Threnhold, left office? He was a tyrant, certainly. But his rule was not ended until he actively sought to expel the Templars. The good of all is inexorably tied to what is good for the Templars.
There is no one to carry the last Viscount's line.
You presided over Seamus's death. That was the sad end of the Dumas. When a line is judged unfit or ends, we appoint from Kirkwall's elite. Or we would, if the situation was normal. But it is not.
Who nominates a new Viscount?
A consensus of the nobility, normally, and a willing nominee. Both are lacking, and I can't fault it. These are difficult times.
Could I nominate someone, or do it myself?
Anyone who thinks to take this office needs more than popular support. They need particular support. You are many things, champion, but not this. Not yet, anyway.
When Viscounts die, it's the sycophants who truly suffer.
If his death was more fresh in my mind, I would give you such a... censuring. I can still do that, I think. Each day is fresh insult. Leave me. Hawke should do it. Kirkwall needs a Viscount.
Have you asked her if she even wants that?
I watched my parents in Starkhaven. When times are good, the city rules itself. Years could pass and no one would notice who's prince. But when there's famine, when there's war, people look to their leaders. Who does Kirkwall have beyond Hawke?
This is probably a conversation for the two of you to have.
You want me to be Viscount?
Andraste said the Maker is king in the heavens, but it is the kings of Thedas who must recreate his worldly glory. I keep thinking about that. Who better serves the Maker? A brother of the faith, or a prince who can sway a whole city?
Every person does the Maker's work in their own way.
Starkhaven needs me, but I will not leave Elthina to the mercy of those apostates. We must put down their rebellion and solidify the Chantry's hold. Then I can return to Starkhaven with a clean conscience.
Focus on Starkhaven. Your enemies are there, not here.
I know you have sympathy for the rebels, but surely you must see they can't win. Frankly, both sides are despicable. I wouldn't leave Her Grace at the mercy of either. But it will be over soon. One way or the other. I know you and Anders are... It's not my place to question, but please, be careful. He's a dangerous man. And selfish. Whatever he promised, don't think he'll ever put you above his own needs.
I hope you haven't come to try to talk me into leaving again. Kirkwall needs a steadying hand on its reins now more than ever. Orsino and the Knight Commander grow more fractious by the day.
The only way this will end is when one of them kills the other.
I hope you're wrong. I've been talking with them both. Orsino is not an unreasonable man. Surely a compromise can be reached.
You have no Viscount. It's clear you're suffering without sufficient leadership.
That doesn't grant default authority to you or your commander.
It would be easier if you cooperated.
Wouldn't it?
Guard, Captain.
Trouble?
Yes. He's been hounding me. These Templars strut around as it is, but now it's just out of hand.
He could be fishing for a less strenuous position here in the barracks.
Well, he won't be getting one from me.
That's not what Cullen has heard.
What are you talking about?
That you coddle your men. It's all lies, of course, but it's out there.
No wonder the Lieutenant was harassing me. Bastards. If they think I'm coddling anyone, it'll be my husband, Donnic. You and I will intercept his patrol tonight. Then you can see for yourself if I'm coddling him, or any in my command.
I don't have to see proof. I already believe you.
Of course you do. But nobody questions my leadership without a response. Cullen wants to know if these things are true. You'll be able to tell him. Donnic's patrol, Hawke. Me and you, tonight.
Serah Hawke. Or is it always Champion now? You're too much of a chameleon, my friend.
I didn't expect to find you so deep in bandits.
A good day, to be sure. I'll be sore tomorrow, but it was my choice. Tell me what's going on.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Every guard chooses the patrol they want. My wife promotes from the bold, not the reckless. Action is up, casualties are down. It is remarkable. As are you, love.
Thank you. That will do.
Another time, Serah Hawke. Safe travels.
Champion, and you are with the captain. None too happy about the accusations against her, I'm sure.
You could say that.
The claims against Aveline are garbage. Did you bother to verify them?
No.
Then why press this?
Some feel that the solution to the current crisis of leadership is to consolidate authority. As long as these complaints continue, baseless or not, they will serve as justification for eliminating the position of Guard Captain. It would be the simplest fix, whether or not I agree.
Just point me in the right direction, and I'll get you some peace and quiet.
I have no answers for you other than to say that all of the complaints have come from Lowtown.
Guardsman Brennan is on that patrol. Why wouldn't she tell me of this?
I don't know, but I do apologize for the assumptions of this incident, Guard Captain. It has been unfortunate.
It's not done. Guardsman! Why did a Templar have to tell me there is unrest in this district? What's going on?
Guardsman?
It's Captain Jevon. I didn't report his return because I'm ashamed for him. He's trying to rile the guards against you. But none of us will follow him. You lead better than he ever did.
We've made so many enemies. I don't remember him as that impressive.
He deserves to be forgotten. He abused his position and blamed me when we caught him.
He was well liked by some, but not once the truth was known.
We need to find him. Guardsman?
The guards will have nothing to do with him. So he found others. Militia. Mostly anti-Ferelden. The same kind who were against the Qunari. I guess it's been long enough they've forgotten how many the Champion killed.
A rally against the tyranny of the Guard and foreigners who infest Kirkwall.
I'm sorry, Captain.
Return to the barracks.
The Champion? Here?
It's the Captain. Are we ready for this?
Too long, brave Kirkwall. You did not throw off all others only to fall under Ferelden influence. Leaderless, displaced, alien hands on the most basic authority. Foreign elite bleeding you.
Jevon! You disgrace yourself.
The Ferelden with the Orlesian name. Is there anyone else who so embodies how far this city has fallen?
This one is all yours, Captain.
Do they know how you sacrificed your men? How you alone disgraced your name?
Bitch! You took everything from me!
You took it from yourself. The Guard know this, and none stand with you. He stands alone. This is no rebellion, it is delusion. A joke inflicted on Kirkwall, your home and mine.
I will not be left with nothing again.
No, you shall have less. You fool. Why would you do this? If I live to 100, I will never understand his kind. To the barracks, Hawke. My guardsmen will be waiting.
Let me guess. That's your final answer?
3 mages have fled to Ferelden, and you have intervened to protect them, as if it is your right to do so. What other answer did you expect, your majesty?
A maybe might have been nice.
I do not deal in maybes. I deal in cold, hard facts. As should you. Perhaps when Ferelden next chooses a king, it will be one that takes his duty to the Maker seriously.
Well, that was awkward.
That's just Meredith's idea of Kirkwall hospitality.
Really? Kirkwall brutality must rip the skin off your face, then.
This is the champion of Kirkwall.
Right, I'm Alistair. King of Ferelden. And this is Tegan, my uncle. Sort of.
I'm actually Tegan. I'm only sort of his uncle.
Your Majesty, may I say what an honor it is to meet you.
Well, you could, but you'd be the first today.
I fought at Ostagar. What happened there was a great tragedy.
Ah, yes. Yes, it was. Thankfully, the man responsible has paid for that.
So, you're a king now. Moving up in the world.
Isabella, right? You look different.
Don't we all?
I was hoping we could talk. Would have been better timing before being emasculated by Meredith, but I'm not picky.
I'm surprised you would even know who I am.
I know you came here from Lothering, a Ferelden refugee that did well for herself, against all odds. I have to admit, I was hoping your influence in Kirkwall might be of use. Things haven't been going well with Orlais. Without a Viscount here, however, there's only the Knight Commander to deal with.
Is there to be a war, then?
I hope not.
You're more optimistic than I am.
Empress Celine is doing her best. Orlais isn't the most stable place right now.
What's happening in Orlais?
Oh, the usual. Attempted assassinations, uprising, fancy parties with stinky cheeses. Apparently, some Orlesians think it would be grand to get their lost province back.
Well, we won't let them swoop down on us, will we?
That's right. Swooping is bad.
You were having an argument about mages.
Yes, well, apparently I don't feel the same way about mages as the Chantry does. So, we're in disagreement. That means they get nasty. They're like that.
Sounds like the Circle is better off in Ferelden.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Sadly, I don't control the Circle. I can only deal with mages outside the Circle, of which there aren't many.
Aren't they in your kingdom? Why not just kick the Templars out?
Ha! Easier said than done. We'll see what comes of it. Ferelden had a blight to contend with, remember? We're not exactly at our strongest.
A lot of your people fled to Kirkwall, you know.
I know. I wish I could have helped them. Their blight devastated the kingdom, and afterwards, well, it hasn't exactly been peaceful. They're welcome back, of course, as are you. But after so many years away, would you still consider it home?
Kirkwall is my home now.
I understand. Ferelden's loss.
Do you really think there's something I can do?
Sadly, it may be too late. Meredith got wind of my arrival sooner than I'd hoped. What you can do is protect Kirkwall. It will take someone like you to keep it from falling apart.
Protect Kirkwall from what exactly?
You ask me, the biggest threat to this city just walked out the door. But maybe that's the ex-Templar in me talking. Well, I suppose we should be getting back.
We should. The hero of Ferelden should be back in Denerim by now.
You're always so formal. He has a name, you know.